So I thought it'd be cool to do a challenge run for New Vegas, 'cause it's a pretty good game. I know it pretty well. I've played it a lot. That'd be something I could do. At first, I thought I'd do all achievements. I just noticed I didn't have a lot of them. I thought it'd be cool to try to get all in one playthrough, but I mean, I knew even starting it that you can't get all of them because of the each way to beat the game has 3 specific achievements, and then one extra achievement, either Arizona Killer or what's it called? You'll know it when it happens. And so because of all those conflicting achievements, it didn't really make sense to do it in one playthrough. I'd either have to skip some achievements, or I'd have to make a save and then keep going back and forth, getting all of them. And I'd have to save the quest for the end, the main quest, because pretty early on in the game, you end up screwing over the other factions. So I'd have to save all of the main quests for the very end, and it wouldn't be a good end to the video because those quests are so easy. Then I thought maybe doing Lonesome Road as a level 1 character. I thought that would be a good one. It would be really difficult, but someone else actually already did it. And if you go in at level 1, you level up so fast. You get tons of XP for every single quest that you do. That's part of the reason that they tell you that you should be level 20 when you go in, is because you get so much XP. The whole area is scaled for a high level character. So you would end up being level 20 pretty early on anyway. Then I came up with this one, which I think is pretty much perfect. Well, besides one thing, which I'll get to later. The idea was to just have the weakest character you could possibly have. So no skills, no special, no perks. I don't really see anybody do this. We have console commands on New Vegas, so I don't really see why people don't really seem to use those in their challenge runs or their little builds that they do. But yes, just having no skills and no special it would completely change the way you play the game. You have the lowest possible equip load. You have the lowest HP restoration from food and stim packs. You'd have the worst possible accuracy with guns and energy weapons. No crafting. Sneaking is basically impossible. And any quest that involves picking locks or talking to people or bartering or hacking terminals would be off the table. And the way to set it up is using console commands. You max out your character to level 50, then you reset all your stats to 0 and remove all your perks. If you want to go straight to level 50, you can actually just type in player.rewardxp 3,185,000. That's the exact XP required to go straight from level 1 to 50. But you'll notice here I actually only go up to 45 because I didn't have Dead Money DLC. I played it on Xbox and hated it, so I just didn't get it for PC, and then once I realized that, I went out and bought it. Wanted it to be a perfect playthrough. I didn't want to cheat in any way. Dead Money, actually, now that I think about it, would be pretty good as maybe even a finale for the playthrough. You won't have any skills, perks, and special, and you won't have any of your equipment that you get throughout the game. Because in the very beginning you lose all your equipment. Also, enemies in the DLC scale with the player, so you'll be up against level 50 enemies. So in order to decrease your skills, you just type player.modav, and then I just use -100, which will go down to the minimum, which is 0. One thing that you should note is that with specials, they actually only go down to 1. It doesn't matter if you do -10 for all of them, it'll just make them go down to 1, which is the lowest you can possibly go. Now pay attention to these perks. They're kind of a pain in the ass to remove. The best way to do it is get a piece of paper and write down the IDs for every single perk you have. Now if you look at the DLC perks, they have these 2 X's next to the base ID. What that means is the first 2 numbers are dependent on the order in which your DLCs are installed. There's no way to really figure that out without Mod Manager, but what I ended up doing is just guessing. Just type 01, 02, all the way up to 09, and one of them will work. So now that all your stats are 0, you can actually start the playthrough. The first thing I did here, I realized pretty early isn't necessary. I just do it on every playthrough, which is steal everything in Doc Mitchell's house and then sell it to Chet. Doesn't seem to notice that you're leaving the doctor's house and you're selling him all this doctor equipment. But you don't even really get that much money. And what I had figured out just by coming up with the idea for the playthrough is that since XP doesn't matter, the only thing that you really are worried about the entire time is caps and items and armor and weapons, stuff like that. So you can pretty much ignore any quest that involves where the only reward is XP.
Give me a shout if you need it.
You just need to get caps, and the easiest way to get caps, you can't go to the casinos because your luck is 1, but you can play Caravan. And by the time I got to Novak, I had 6,000 caps just playing Caravan. But because you have to play Caravan, you got to do a couple quests in Good Springs. You got to talk to Sunny Smiles. I'm pretty sure I did her entire quest, but I believe all you have to do is do the shooting the bottles and then tell her that you don't want to do any more quests. But you have to complete her quest in order for Trudy to start her little thing. There's like a scripted sequence where she talks to Joe Cobb. Oh, and I'm just showing here how inaccurate your gun is when you don't have any gun skill. Even crouching, staring right at it, you can see I miss every time. It's pretty funny. But yeah, once you complete the quest, and you can just end the tutorial at any point, I'm pretty sure. Trudy will be in the saloon talking to Joe Cobb. She'll tell you where Ringo is, and then Ringo's door will be unlocked and you can go talk to him. But he gives you a 54, I believe it's 54 Caravan deck, which you'll need to play Caravan.
If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not gonna buy something, get out. Well,
Thought about
you've been
stealing her
causing
money.
quite a stir.
You really don't need to, though. You get so much money for playing Caravan.
Looks like our little town got itself dragged in about a week ago. This traitor Ringo comes into town. Survivor of the attack, he says. Bad men after him. We figured he was just a shock, so he gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him. He's holed up, David. Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the power gangers with him. You mean murder him? That's not our way. Even if Cobb is scum, he can bluster and threaten all of them. If you're able to get Ringo out of it, of course helping Ringo will also make the power gangers mad.
I guess while this is going on, I can go ahead and explain the problem with this playthrough. The problem that I've encountered and I have not been able to figure out what the best thing to do is. The way the game calculates your hit points is based on your endurance and your level. So with 1 endurance, I think you get an additional 20 hit points. So level 1 with 1 endurance, you would have 120 hit points. But since we're level 50, we have a lot. I think we have 370. And I was trying to figure out if it's best, because since all your skills are so low and the DLCs scale with you, so I thought it would be fair to just let you have those extra hit points. You'll see in the next video I fight Simon at the Silver Rush, and he almost kills me. The only way I was able to beat him is by trapping him in a corner and breaking his gun so he couldn't defend himself. And I had a maxed out power fist and I could barely kill him. So I don't know, I'll have to figure out what the best thing to do there is. if I should, because you can use that same mod AV command to lower your max hit points back to 120, but I feel like you kind of need the extra hit points. I think it's fair to have those extra hit points, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do there yet. Alright, this is getting kind of long, so I'm just going to go ahead and end this one here. In the next one, I'll explain how to play Caravan and how to get caps easy early on. Please let me know about the HP thing. Do you think that it would be a better run if you reduce your HP back to 120? Because if that's the case, I'm only a little bit through this playthrough. I can go ahead and just do it and make that change now before I finish the whole thing. But I still stand with what I said before. I think it's fair. I think it's fine to have that little bit of extra HP early on, because you're never going to be able to increase it. You're never going to be able to get any perks that increase your HP. Even though it is a lot, it's all you get. So I think it's fair, but let me know.